is up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingNews.com. Welcome back to the post-Breeders' Cup era of RacingNews.com. That's right. We don't go away. We're here 24/7, 365. And so we'll recap the Breeders' Cup this week, obviously, with a couple of videos. I'm going to do 2 videos. So the one you're watching here is all about the betting, breaking down the betting, kind of talking about, how we bet. Maybe, in the comments, you can talk about some of your bets and your thoughts as well. I'll get to that in a second. There is going to be another video where it's just reliving the top 5 Breeders' Cup moments. So if you just kind of want to fan out on the Breeders' Cup, which I did all day on Sunday, this probably isn't the video for you. This is more the technical betting side of things, but we will have more of that fan-generated, content as well with watching the replays of the top 5 performances of the Breeders' Cup, which was very hard to put together. Let me just say that, very hard to put together. All right, as far as this video, let's get to it. I do this a lot, whether it be with John White or Jared or Paul out there, one of my buddies. I always find it helpful once it's over, once a big event's over, a big race card is over, to kind of talk about exactly what I was thinking, maybe what I got wrong, what I got right, things like that with all my bets throughout the week or throughout the day in some cases. So I thought it'd be helpful to maybe do that. I know for me, sometimes when I talk to other bettors, I do pick up maybe not a handicapping point of view really, because I'm usually pretty hard-headed about those opinions I have, but maybe some wagering situations that I could have done differently or whatever. So I know John White, seemingly every day it's something with him. It's like, oh, I never thought of it like that, but that would work. So I kind of wanted to do a video here just to maybe more than anything to spark some ideas, or maybe I did this really well, let's keep doing it. Maybe this was a spot where I could have done a little bit differently. So, I know, again, I do this almost every time after a big race day. So I'll put the results up. We'll just go through Friday, Saturday, kind of go through what I'm talking about. I don't really want this to be like a betting Bible promo or anything like that. But I will say that the bets that I made were in the betting Bible. You know, if you bought it, you could have followed along with it. And anyway, so we kind of put totals in there for kind of an intermediate, bankroll. You could always, if you got a bigger bankroll, bet higher on those totals. If you got a smaller bankroll, bet lower on the totals. So 2-day event. I'm going to start doing this after all the big race cards, because I do think it's going to be, win or lose. I do think it'll be kind of good to reflect. So Friday for me was a 47.1% ROI. And I started off here with race 1, and I thought about betting Westwood. I did not do it on these bigger days like the Breeders' Cup. I always try to stay away from the undercard unless I really love it. So I skipped the first 5 races here. I did not get this race right, so I would have missed there. This one, I had the, no, I didn't. I missed that one as well. This was one I kind of regret. The 4th race, I thought about Queen Maxima for a long time, but 2 things kept me away from a win wager. One, I thought she'd be a little bit too short of a price versus how much I liked her, and we'll talk about that in a second. And number 2, I was scared of the number 6 Shoot It True. Queen Maxima wins, so that was kind of a missed opportunity there. 5th race, I did have the winner, but again, I didn't have enough confidence to bet. So we'll go to the 6th, and the 6th race was one that I was a little bit frustrated with. I had Cy-Fair in the top 3 or 4. I ended up scratching into him and putting him in 4th, but I'd had him in the top 3 at one time and just kind of made the wrong decision. I ended up playing an exacta box 189 in this one to kind of get it going. I didn't have a strong opinion anywhere really in this race, but I did kind of like Cy-Fair. I like Brussels an awful lot. That is one I did have in there. And then I had Havana Anna and True Love. So I went 189. I ultimately did not throw the 10 in. I put them in, I scratched into 4th with this horse. You see this exacta paid $63. So, I had a $2 in the betting Bible, $2 exacta box, 189. So you tie 63 times 2. If I, just close is what I'm trying to say. I didn't feel terrible about it. I felt good about the bet overall. I didn't want to play a win wager here or a double because I just didn't have any confidence in this race or the next race really for a double. So nothing really, it was there is what I'm trying to say. I maybe could have had it, just didn't make the right decision on the horses, but I did like the wager there and I like the idea of it. Race number 7. I started a double with the 4 and the 7 into the 2 and the 3 in the next race. This race was really screwed up in a couple of situations. Number 1, I did not have a strong opinion, so I did not want to play a lot of money. It was a low-level double that I played. And number 2, with Precise scratching out of the eighth, we'll talk about here in a minute, it really screwed up this daily double too, because I was trying to get a live to Precise here in this spot to begin with. Instead, I end up with a couple horses to finish the double that I didn't love. Honestly, looking back, I probably should have skipped this race. There wasn't a whole lot for me to do in this one, but you just kind of feel like on these big days, these Breeders' Cup races, you kind of want to give your opinions a chance to be right. And look, looking back again, hindsight is always 2020, but it just kind of, you just look this and go, man, I probably just should have skipped it because I didn't have a lot of confidence. Anyway, Super Corridora wins. It's a horse I toyed around with in third and fourth for a while. Ended up not doing anything with her and leaving her off, but good win. And Hector Barrios, a really, really good Friday. Race 8, look, and this is what's okay. So race 8, 9, and 10 were my three. I would say race 8 and race 9 were my two strongest opinions of the entire Breeders' Cup. Race 10 would have been close. Nisos was in there as well. We'll talk about him in a second. So anyway, I had a huge win bet on Precise. She was my most likely winner of the whole Breeders' Cup. She scratches the morning of the race. And again, you just kind of look at this and go, I kind of want my opinions to be right. I liked Queen of Hawaii a lot. So I played a 2, 3, 9 exacta box. None of them are even close. I felt like I could kind of see that coming a little bit, honestly, though, because it was just like, I really hate this race. Now that Precise is out, this is why I loved Precise so much. I really didn't think these horses were very good. I thought this was the worst race of the Breeders' Cup as far as performances go. And that's not really I mean, congratulations to everybody that A, cashed and B, won, because any Breeders' Cup race is a great win. But I just watched this and thought, I didn't really feel like a Breeders' Cup race to me. So, for 3 races, 3 losses. And, again, I wasn't really shocked. I wanted to try to get my opinions a chance at least to win, play low level exactas and low level doubles, just trying to, hey, if it works out, it works out. Right. So get serious though for race number 9. Ted Nafi ended up being my best bet for today on the Friday card. And so kind of the debate, and I was talking to my good buddy Paul, and again, I think as many gambling friends as you can have is a good thing, because it maybe not so much handicapping, but maybe sometimes yes with handicapping. But he texted me and he was like, man, this Ted Nafi brand exacta, I can't remember exactly what was paying, like $6 for a dollar or $4 for a double. And I kind of said, I was like, you kind of know what's going to happen though, right? They're going to get split by somebody. Like, it just seems too easy. Right. So that's kind of sometimes, not all times, I should say, when I have a horse that I absolutely love, and I loved Ted Nafi in the spot, I really don't want to mess with anything else unless it's a double. Maybe I'll play with that a little bit, or unless I think he's going to be like 1 to 5 or 2 to 5. Kind of my cutoff is 1 to 2 or higher if I love a horse. Now, if it's 1 to 2 and I'm just lukewarm on the horse, forget it. But if I really love one, that's kind of the cutoff, right? And I thought Ted Nafi would be 3 to 5 or 4 to 5, and he ended up going off at 4 to 5. So that's my thing. Like, that doesn't have to be your thing. If you're listening, it's like, I never want to play a 4 to 5. I understand that. For me, that's fine if I love the horse. And so again, I didn't screw with the exactas. I just went right to Ted Nafi. If he wins, great. If he loses, well, shit, he's my strong opinion. What am I going to do? Right. So he wins the race. So that was good. This got me back. I think I was just a tiny bit ahead going into the last race. That kind of covered the Ted Nafi win, kind of covered all the bets where I was trying to just take a shot. So you come to the last race, another, for me, a huge win bet on Gastad, or Stod, I guess is how you actually say it. The G is silent. Again, another one where if I thought he would be 1 to 2 or excuse me, 1 to 5 or 2 to 5, I wouldn't have done it. Probably wouldn't have done it at 1 to 2 with him either, because of the post, and didn't love him quite as much as Ted Nafi. But I thought, hey, if he's 3 to 5 or better, I'm just going to play him to win. I hated every other horse in this race, so there was no exacta for me to play here. And Astad gets it done. A very nice win, and puts me profitable for today, or for the day on Friday. 47.1% ROI there. Now, the one thing I look back at it now and go, okay, what about the double? That was probably dumb. Should have just played an 8-14 straight double. You got 2 horses in a row you like. Yeah, no, probably should have. Looking back on it, I just kind of look back and go, I should have done that, right? And if you're watching, I'm sure you're thinking the same thing. Paid $5.40 for the double. So, if you take a whatever your bankroll is, right? I think we try to base the betting Bibles on like a $300 bankroll, right? Which is like, say, kind of an intermediate, I would say, level. 540 for the double. Say you played it 20 times. Shit, there's nothing wrong with that. That would have been a really good cash. So probably screwed up there. Say you play it 30 times, 40 times. You probably could have, if you have, that kind of level bankroll, that would have made sense for the whole event. So that was a missed opportunity for me, and again, looking back, uh, the biggest thing you want to do with this, you don't really want to sit here and beat yourself up, because it's always super easy once we know the results, right? And if you thought that was that easy on Wednesday or Thursday when you're putting these together, or Friday morning, you would have done it. And so again, you don't want to beat yourself up, but you can also learn from it and go, okay, well, there was a situation where I probably left a little bit on the table, and I didn't leave it on the table because my opinions were wrong. I left it on the table because my opinions were right. I didn't bet it just the greatest. You look back and you go, okay, profit, good day, good day one of the Breeders' Cup. You feel good. Your big kind of at least I'm talking from my perspective, your big horse scratch and you're still able to win. There's something where you screwed up. And I think that's really, really important, because as you guys know, if you're big gamblers that watch it, the margins of winning and losing are very tight. And that could have been a wager right there, that if things really weren't going, like if they went way south, that could have been like one to get you kind of back in the game. And there'll be days where you get to that situation and things are going way south and you need something like that. So anyway, I just think, I wanted to point that out. All right, let's go to Saturday. So you always feel good when you go to bed at night and you're like, okay, I'm ahead for the first day. So let's see if we can't just screw this up here. So skip the first two races. I just had no opinions on them at all, really. I did have the 8 on top here in the second race on Saturday, but I didn't want to. I just didn't have a strong enough opinion on that horse. Race 3, and this is rare. I kind of learned that I wait till the Breeders' Cup. When it's Breeders' Cup, don't bet these first ones. I did place a win wager on Special One, the 3 horse. Thankfully won this race. I didn't make the wager as big as my wagers on Nisos or on Stott or on Ted Nafi. So I didn't have that kind of confidence. This is a horse I really have loved for a while. Kind of had some success with this horse in the past. I thought this was a really good spot for Special One. Looking back, yeah, maybe you should have, you really, I'm talking her up. You liked her, but I just didn't want to waste a ton of money on non-Breeders' Cup races on this weekend. I never want to do that. I thought this was a spot. So a good way to get it going. It kind of covered the next couple of bets for me. Race 4, I didn't have a strong opinion to win this race, but I did play a double 2-8 in this spot. So Splendora and Hope Road with the 5-8 in the next race. I just felt good about that double. I really liked it. Splendora gets it done. She was the bigger of the two prices. So I was pretty happy going into race 5. Played the 5-8. 8 came in second. She's so spicy. To be honest with you guys, I had the horse kind of 4th, 5th, 6th for most of the handicapping process. Probably couldn't have gotten there. I kind of thought she'd come back to him a little bit. She simply didn't. So there was a loss there. I also played a win wager on AG Bullet. So there was another loss there. So, you kind of see the ups and downs. Special One, got a decent amount, kind of lost most of that profit in races 4 and 5. My top pick in this race was Arizona Blaze. And got scratched out of the race. So I landed on AG Bullet. But this was a situation, unlike the Precise race, where I liked nothing. I did like AG Bullet quite a bit, honestly. So looking back on it, yes, I lost my top pick to a scratch. I don't feel that bad about playing this race, though, because I did have confidence in AG Bullet. All right, race 6 is where we'll go next here. And again, for me, I liked Ben Tornado and I liked Copian in this race. Not a strong opinion though on a win wager. So I played another double here with the 110 Ben Tornado and Copian. And then in the next race, I had Scylla and the 4 and the 8, Scylla and Seismic Beauty. And so there were 2 reasons to play the double for me here to start. Didn't have total confidence, hey, let's send it in with a win wager on Ben Tornado or Copian. And I kind of wanted to try to get something live to Scylla in the next race. That was a horse. Well, I'll talk about the handicapping part of Scylla in the next race. But I wanted to try to get a ticket or two live to her. Had some pick threes and pick fours. Unfortunately, yeah, the pick fours at least they busted in that turf race, which was, that's another story. But anyway, and then other pick fours busted in the 8th race. But anyway, just kind of looked at it and thought, let's try to get live. Thankfully, I'm live here. Let's go to the 7th race, and there it is. This is a big win here that really got the day going. Special one was nice in the 3rd, but this was a good race. Silly gets the job done. Here's how I looked at this. I had liked Scylla for a long time, and they tried to sprint her, and she never really worked out. It just felt like they tried to go long the race before, and I just kind of felt like a classic Bill Mott kind of prep for this one. And I thought, you know what, she's gonna run her best race of her career. I feel like that's going to happen. I don't know if that best race is good enough, though, because she really hadn't, but I just have a feeling you're going to want her involved. So put her on the ticket with Seismic Beauty. And luck is a huge part of this always. The way the track was playing, Seismic Beauty looked like a 1-to-5 shot, right? She comes out of the gate. She bobbles pretty bad, like right around the wire the first time. I think it spooked the jockey. The jockey didn't really ask her to go to where she usually is, to the front. And all of a sudden, Scylla, who I never thought would get that trip, is getting a front end trip by herself and ends up dominating. So you got to be lucky sometimes. You just have to be lucky. I also played an exacta in this race, the 8 over the 412, and that was a loss. So I want to bring that up. But the double here, had it for $3 in the betting Bible. So nice cash. Paid $25 for $1. So, and again, I just think it was a situation of got a little luck, definitely. She got the great trip and got the trip that fit the track and got a trip that she hadn't been getting. All right. She hadn't been showing. So you got to admit when you're lucky. But again, my overarching thought was just try to get live to her a couple of things. I think she's going to be a horse that's going to run well, and it worked out. So feeling really good after that. Race 8, total whiff here. I had a win wager on Mini Hawk. Wasn't quite as large of a win wager as my big 3, Ted Nafi and Stod and Nisos. We'll get to Nisos in a second, but had a win wager here, same level as Special One. And again, looking back, I don't really have regrets. The horse did not run well. Mini Hawk was terrible. I toyed with Ethical Diamond in like the 4 spot, but I don't think I could have ever got to that horse on top, or even had in a double or anything like that, or a pick 3. Rebels Romance, had that horse on top for a while, didn't win, so didn't matter. I don't think I could have cashed on this, even though I kind of liked the 3 horses that ran 1, 2, 3. I liked other horses a little more. I don't think I ever could have really got to them. So disappointing there for Mini Hawk. All right, 9th race here. This is the Breeders' Cup Classic, and I screwed this race up. I played a $5 double, 1-7, which was Fierceness Sierra Leone, into the 2-3-4. We'll talk about the 2-3-4 here in a second. In the next race, I just screwed it up. I probably should have went a little deeper and go 1-5-7 in this double with just 2-3 in the next race. That would have cashed and been pretty darn good. That's exactly what Jared Welch did, and he did get the cash there for that one. Look, I screwed this one up altogether, and this is kind of the story of Forever Young, Sierra Leone, Fierceness. I am hardly ever on the right side of them. It's just how it's been. I have bet Forever Young overseas and been on the right side of him. He's probably the one I've been on the right side the most, but I just haven't been able to get Sierra Leone and Fierceness right for years now. And when Sovereignty scratched, it was like, I probably won't get this right. I won't choose correctly between these 3. They've kind of been an enigma. I thought Sierra Leone ran fantastic. I thought Forever Young was just awesome in this race. So, just tip the hat and go on and just shrug your shoulders. I just missed them again. Looking back on it, I probably could have had a 1-5-7, used 3 horses in this leg, but it is what it is. If I would have, I honestly didn't think Forever Young would win. I'll just be honest. So I just wanted more coverage in the next race. I really thought, hey, it's going to be Sierra Leone. If it's not Sierra Leone, it's going to be Fierceness. So is what it is on that one. One more thing I'll say, looking back on kind of analyzing it, I was huge on sovereignty, right? I think anybody that follows the channel knows that. I don't know if he would have won. How about that? We'll never know. Maybe we'll get a matchup for every young sovereignty down the road. I don't know. Maybe him scratching may have saved me a little bit, because beating Forever Young that on this day would have been quite the chore, because I truly believe Sierra Leone ran an absolutely tremendous race and he couldn't get to him. And I really think Fierceness fired his race and couldn't get to him. So I don't know. That would have been fascinating. It may have saved me some money. I'm definitely man enough to admit that it could have saved me some money. All right, let's go to race 10. Another one I screwed up. I cashed a ticket here in race 10. I still screwed it up. I went daily double here, 2-3 with the 3-6 in the next leg. That's Nisos and Full Serrano. So I am going to cash here because Notable Speech wins. I debated forever to bet Notable Speech to win or to play this daily double. I had him to win. I had it wrote down, bet him to win for the longest time. I ended up not doing it. And Notable Speech is much the best here and wins. Had a rail trip, came from out. I mean, it was really impressive. So just shrug the shoulders a little bit, right? Shrug the shoulders, go, hey, you messed up. You still cashed the ticket, but I didn't make hardly any money on this, because when Wyatt Barrio scratched, the daily double prices went down in the next race. I barely made anything on it, made just a tiny bit of profit. But anyway, Notable Speech does get the job done. And again, that's again, you don't want to beat yourself up, but that is when I look back and go, okay, you could have had like a middle level special one mini hawk type win wager here, and that would have been more than fine because he paid 5-2. Jared did have a win wager on Notable Speech, so I'm glad one of us was represented there with a win wager. So, all right, let's go to this one. Best bet of Saturday was Nisos. I projected him to be at 4-5. He ends up going off at 3-5. 3-5 was kind of my cutoff there, so I'm glad he didn't go down a little bit lower. He was like 1 and 2-5, and I was really not happy, but ended up getting okay on him here. Big win wager. Did cash the double for hardly anything here. I think the daily double ended up paying like $5.90 for a buck. I had it for $5, but yeah, I mean, I also spent 2x2 on the exactas or on the daily double, so no good at all there. But again, for me, I toyed around about, let's just kind of single him on top with an exacta, and I didn't like anybody in the race enough to play an exacta. I thought about a straight Nisos Full Serrano exacta, and I thought, you know what? If Nisos is the horse you think he is, just get the money from the win wager and go on. And he was. I thought Citizen Bull was going to beat him, though, for the longest time. Citizen Bull was incredible. This was a great race. Nisos fired a huge effort here, gets the job done. He's been one of my favorite horses since he debuted. So that's why, even though there was kind of the issue with, I don't know, is he injured? Is he not? I just kind of, the quote from Baffer is like, he's doing great. He's a superstar. We're excited about him. I wish he was in the Classic. And that was the thing I needed to hear. Let's go for it. Let's just, he on paper, this looks like your most likely winner of Saturday. Just take it. And if he loses, it is what it is. So anyway, got the job done. That officially made me profitable for Saturday specifically. Saturday was a 22% ROI for me. So not quite as good as Friday, but still not too bad. Last race here, I took a shot with Cinderella's Dream, just a small win wager. She ran awful in the race, and I was dead wrong. I really wanted to feel, or I didn't, I shouldn't say I wanted to, but I really thought about just betting She Feels Pretty, a horse I've just had a ton of luck with over the years. Kind of glad I didn't, because that would have been a heartbreak. I thought she had it, but Gazora takes off late and wins. She Feels Pretty. You ran fantastic. Great job there. So for the 2 days, ended up 32.7% ROI. So, happy with it. Definitely not satisfied. Like I said, screwed up the Classic. Really feel like I could have done better there. Screwed up race 9 and 10 on Friday, even though I cashed. Just kind of felt like that's a spot where that was a pretty damn logical daily double, and I didn't do it. So again, that's kind of the takeaways that you take from it. I've been talking to John a lot about, Forever Young and more of the stuff that he said. And if you watched our video with him, he laid out the plan, and I chose to bet Sierra Leone anyway, so that was stupid. But anyway, probably should have put Sierra Leone and Forever Young on that ticket. But you live and you learn, right? And you'll just move on from it. So again, for these big races, I kind of want to do this. This is kind of what I want to do moving forward. I don't really want this to be an advertisement or anything. I just kind of want to, hey, this is what I was thinking. This is what happened. Maybe you can take something from it. So, all right, with that being said, I'm going to get out of here now. If you want to watch the replays of the top 5 Breeders' Cup videos of the weekend or top 5 races of the weekend, you can definitely do that. I'll have that out as well. All right, guys, thanks everybody for joining us. Hit that like button if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alert anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, stay tuned to the channel. Breeders' Cup coverage will continue this week, and then we're on to what's next, and that's the Kentucky Derby Trail. So we'll see you guys next time.